That should be live already. Got it. It's live. It says low, but let's see. I don't know why they say low. Let's see that. Let's see something. Oh my goodness. What is this thing doing?
A box. A box.
I don't know why this is not
scary. I didn't say it was.
supported.
Yeah, just because it looked different.
I have no idea why.
You just ate.
Wait, let me see.
What is this?
Oh, that's from my mouth.
Chill.
Do these... What are those? Cookies. Oh. They're chocolate mint cookies. Something dramatic.
Get out.
Something dramatic. Pull your pants
I
up.
understand.
Bye.
It says unsupported, but
Bye, old man. You suck.
I wonder if it's showing. Let's see. That'll tell me if it is. Oh, now it works.
What, you showing it on TV?
Now.
I'm not in the picture.
I'm
not in the picture.
That's because you sitting there like a... Not sitting up.
Okay, I'll sit up.
Where are you at?
I'm in now.
Now you're in.
Yeah, I'm in.
I'm gonna wait for the lag. The light is bright. There. Silly mommy. Hey. Sylvia just got through watching your last live stream as I am editing the vlogs. Have to go back in and comment. You came on when I was commenting. Oh, okay. Good evening, good night, good morning. Depends on when you're watching. So, how is everybody?
What? Let you start. You want me to start?
Oh, I thought you were going to say hello. See what?
The lag. Put it on the where you don't have to see the lag. We don't have to see the lag.
You don't want to see the lag.
No. Yeah, there
but
you go.
But then I can't. Wait, I got to.
You got the TV.
Yeah, but I got to put the. Hold on. It's so bright. I cannot see the thing.
Hello, people. How y'all doing? I haven't been on in a while. She said that y'all requested another couples. We're here again. Just been working. So I'm back.
I'm trying to get the thing. I can never get this thing to work. There. So I can read the comments on the TV.
You gotta move that bottle up. That glue.
Now I can read the comments. I don't have to worry about the lag.
Okay.
It's so small. So what are we gonna talk about?
Thought you want to talk about on our cultural. She wanted to talk about how it's our responsibility to teach our children, our children, because really can't teach anybody else unless they're willing to learn our culture. And what she means by that is that we live in a society that has basically buried our culture. Uh, tell us that we really came from nothing, and when you have to really do some research to go out there to find out that you do come from something, you come from a lot. And when you learn that, it's your responsibility to teach your children or anybody else willing to learn for that matter. Uh, and that's what she wanted to really kind of talk about.
Hey, T.
So I'm a big person that likes to study. I don't ever accept things for the face value, and it's important. It's important. That's why me and her get along so well, is because that's what type of person I am. And talking to somebody that's got their head in the sand, for me, is not interesting.
All right, now I can see. My glass is dirty. Okay. Wish I could big that up. So, like, a culture in the family, as a male head of the household, why is it important for the male to be culturally conscious and lead the family?
You said the head of the household. The head of the household is a
you know what I'm saying.
It's a
because
combined effort.
To them, people, and labels, they won't understand that. Y'all know we already addressed that. There's no head of the household. I don't know. That's their terms. I don't believe in that. We don't believe in that, because that right there defines it. It puts people in a box, and I don't believe that. There's nothing he can do that I can't do. It's a collective, and you have to be able to work together. He can't do everything by himself, so why is he the head? And vice versa. That does not make sense. But some men will put that label. Hold on. Some men will put that label on there because they want you, and then they'll in turn, you have to be submissive. That's a control issue.
Okay, I'll put it like this. She's the boss, I'm the head. Okay, we 50-50. It is what it is. What? That's what it is. I mean, it don't really matter. I mean, at the same time, what she really says that because people don't, when they do head of the household and somebody's above somebody, is that you downplaying the other person's ability. You don't have all the abilities yourself to do everything. There's certain things that I'm good at that she's not, good at. And there's certain things that she's good at that I'm not good at. So there's certain things when, like a long time ago, I'm going to tell you the story. I mean, she may not like the story, but she wanted to buy these beds, and she fought with me. And I kept telling her, it's not good. It's not good. I'm telling you. I had 3 years of wood shop, and she wanted to buy some compressed junk. I paid $1,100 for that bed. Just to prove a point.
It was $8.
It's with taxes and everything.
It was $8.
It was $1,100. Okay, with taxes and everything.
It was
$8. Okay. Anyway, $800 for some junk.
It was $8.
We got it back to the house. That thing broke in a week.
It didn't break in a week.
It wasn't no good after that. Now I told her, I said
it wasn't a week.
I told her
they just didn't last that long. I mean, she probably had the beds about a year, but
no,
it didn't last. We had as long as we was out there, 18 months.
No, we kept them because they were broke. They were broke. But if had that been wood, we could have fixed it. Anyway, that was just the point. I'm saying things that I am good at, but it's like I said, to prove a point. So after that point, when it comes to buying stuff like that, she knows why I don't. We said, let's look at that, and I said, nope. That's a particle board or some fancy way of veneers or whatever, So,
okay, I was checking to see. They're listening.
And there's things that I have to revert to her for. So, I mean, and I go to work during the week. She just got her license back. I know she works here, and she got work. So, but like the other day, I said, well, she needed to go to the store and get away for a second. I stay here, even though I'm at work. So I let her. I mean, I'm not let her, but she took off. I let her. I stayed here and watched the kids or whatever. And but that's what you got to do as a team if you're a team. So going back to cultural thing now, we have to establish that, first of all, unity within the household, because that's what we have, that's what we had. And that's the thing about it, is that American culture has systematically tried to destroy the household, and especially the black household. If you go back to
they have,
and if you go back to like back in the days where they let somebody live in the projects, but if the man didn't live there or whatever, I never really wanted.
If the man lived, they wouldn't let the man live.
They didn't let the man live there. So that was basically tearing apart the black family, and part of it, just many things that they've done. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's us. It's up to us for once we recognize and to establish that. Now, to get the information, sometimes it may cost a little bit. Like we just looked at a book on Mansa Musa. He was a Malian king. Before Columbus, he sent 200 trade ships to the Americans. So the story of Columbus is a bunch of BS. But you know, anything to promote white supremacy, it is what it is. But like I said, now when you learn these things and stuff like that, it's very important that you tell your children. So I mean, we got a plan, and we're not gonna put it out there right now because it's something.
Yeah, I told him last time.
Oh yeah.
You told me not to tell.
Yeah.
So I can't tell.
Yeah,
he's not gonna tell you.
We got a plan. So we're working on it right now. It's in development. So
for the kids, but also for the
adults too.
The parents too.
Yeah, because they're gonna have to read the information or whatever. But anyway, back to just some of the things that we.
Who is it? What is for? Who is for? Get it. Get it. It's right there. Anyway, something I was gonna say. You were saying destroy the household, cultural.
And then another thing, Black History Month. That's a joke to me. You got 1 month, and you're saying that all of our accomplishments that African or even African descent people came to is 1 month. Come on now, get out of here. That's asinine. That's what I'm gonna say. There's so much stuff out there. If you want to be technical about it, I mean, I'm not trying to be racist or prejudiced. I can't be racist because, first of all, racism roots in power. I don't have no power over nobody, so I'm not racist. So I cannot be racist. But I'm not trying to be prejudiced or whatever like that. But if you want to be technical, Caucasian people only existed so many years. You can look it up. And so we, as African people or African descent people, have existed on this planet in different hues, not just dark-skinned African people, different hues, for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. So, I mean, like, modern bones, they say, date back anywhere from 1 million to 2 to 3 million years. And that's African woman found. They nicknamed it Lucy, but, that's, I don't know. I'm just saying, I'm not...
yeah, Lucy became that gorilla.
Yeah, they trying to make it.
They became that gorilla.
But it was a modern bones.
Yeah.
But of a black woman. So,
yeah.
So, forget their interpretation of. We all know the Caucasian picture of white Jesus is a picture of Caesar Borgia. So, I mean, that dude was a monster if you look him up and study him.
Lucy.
So,
let me touch on that. You guys, I know this has really nothing to do with homeschooling, but really it does. Answers in Genesis. I'm very, even though it is biblical based and I follow it more closely than anything else, because things really line up a little more. There are a lot of things in there that I have to leave out. For instance, Lucy. They present Lucy and Answers in Genesis as that gorilla. And that's like in the beginning. So even though, I'm showing you this is what we use, there's a reason. And I told you guys, I teach them biblically. I mean, that's part of our, what do you call it?
Because you have to, because of school
Yeah,
systems.
it's part of our little thing, good citizenship. But also, they have to go out into the world. I'm not going to brainwash them. Okay, they are old enough, and they're going to learn on their own things. And I'm getting ready to give you an example right here in a minute. They can decipher things, but there are certain ways. Just like I told you, the kids, they go to college. I teach them to get their education, but they're going to take that education that they wanted them to learn, and they apply it to help us in our community. Okay, so I'm giving them what they need, because they say, if we're doing classical or Charlotte Mason or whatever their style is, that's because it's still hard enough for us to get over once, even if we go on to college, university, whatever. We're still fighting to be accepted. So they might be a little, I'm not even gonna use that term, whitewash, but differently educated, but on the low, they're being taught about us. Okay, on the surface, it looks like they might be, a little washed, and that's just for appearance's sake. But deep down, if you get into a debate with these kids, they can go, and tell you all kind of stuff that you would never think. You would think they were, what do you call them kids that, proper. That's what it is.
Well, I mean, let me tell you something. When I'm at work and I get talking to people and they talk about certain things, their views, their Christian views or anything like that, I just really don't. I just play along, because my thing, what I find out that I've studied for years, I've been into what I've been into, and people are not gonna hear you unless they want to hear you. So what's the point of arguing with people? I'm just gonna touch on. I'm gonna say one thing about certain things, especially when it comes to biblical is concerned. It only goes back how many thousand years, and Council of Nice, Constantine put that together anyway. Story Jesus was originally a story of Heru, Asur, and Aset, but that's all. I'm just gonna touch on that and let me leave it alone. It's up for your own research.
Yeah.
So
again, the Bible, that's something that we just, I teach them, but that's because that's what's accepted in the world.
And that's
either you believe or you don't. But going back on what he just said, the Jesus deal is a facade. So that just discredits the whole Bible.
And another thing too, ask yourself this before, quote unquote, before slavery. What were we before slavery? And what we had, what people never ask that question. And if you look at the Indians, which it's been proven that a lot of Indians are black. That's why the word colored came about, because the Indians were black and just lump everybody together. Anybody that was black or dark skinned, they just call them colored. That's where you can look that up. That's Virginia. They didn't want to start that. So, but anyway, like I said, we do teach our kids the truth on things and stuff like that. But we also teach them how to survive in the world that's about. So, I mean, anything we say may be controversial, but like I said, we're not here to argue. We feel the way we feel. And if you research, that's what we do. We research. We look, and we're not saying we're right about everything, but we're finding out a lot of things about a lot of people that we didn't even know about. Like, white people were getting upset that they were going to put Hannibal as a black man, but coins were found with him with nappy hair and everything. Well, not nappy hair, because that's our hair. So coarse hair, its strongest hair. It's just coins were found with that. So why are you going to get mad at portraying him in his true image? So, but at the same time, when they do that, it's basically taking away their argument that we were just slaves and all that stuff like that. And they didn't steal slaves from Africa. They stole scientists. They stole doctors. They stole whatever we were doing. We had advanced civilizations, and on top of that, like I said, we were trading with the Americans. It's true that the Malian Empire was trading with the Americans. Like I said, Mansa Musa sent 200 ships over here, and that's not slave ships, trade ships. And the emperor before him, the Malian Empire, he was sending trade ships over here. So that tells you they were trading back and forth with the Americans. You ever heard of the Olmec heads that was found all over North America with the big lips, and they found them in the big wide nose and stuff like that? That was found over in Ethiopia too, the same heads. So that in the original, and Mexicans, they can say things too. The original they say Aztecs. The original Aztecs were black. The Spain started mixing with them, just like so. There's a lot of stuff out there that people they want to discount. In Kemet, that up until the 32nd dynasty, Kemet was black. And that's when 33rd dynasty, that's why they say the 33rd degree Masons and stuff like that. That's when they conquered Kemet. But they can't survive over there like that. They get cancer and stuff like that, and they can't survive like that. So they didn't have to mix in. So that's why Cleopatra was mixed. And I don't know. I've got to do some more research, but I heard that Mark Antony, which was a Roman general, but I heard he was black. So I don't know. I have to do some more research. I don't know. I'm not gonna say that's true or not until I find out more about it. But that's the rumor I heard. So I'll definitely be doing research on that. And if you guys want to know, just let me know.
Who's watching for lots of knowledge? That's how we learn. Okay. Black. That's what I was gonna say. There's one question that all of my kids have asked me over the years, and that one question to this day, I still cannot answer that question. Okay? And I had this conversation with somebody else that I introduced you guys to not that long ago. But I can't explain it. I couldn't explain it. I'll never be able to explain it. But all of my kids, and it's just interesting that they all have come to me with this one question. They have all asked me at some point in their lives, Mom, what is a black person? And I'm like, okay, y'all know too much. Because they're looking at themselves and they're like, we're not black. And right there, that just tells me I can't tell them they're black. They're not black. And so, we go and these terms and things, we have to come out from underneath these terms and teach these kids the right way, because that's confusing them. Who is it?
Zoe is still hungry.
Oh.
Well, tell Justice to get her a snack or something.
Okay.
Watch your blanket. But yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. Not that I haven't answered the question, but they already answered the question.
I can answer that question for her, but it's going to be a long, because we're melanated. We're from African descent. I mean, black is just a label that was put up on us. But why
are we still using it? We're still using that term. But we got to come from under those terms.
And I don't even, to be honest with you, I don't even like using African American, because until you treat me like a first class citizen, I don't feel like I'm part of this. But even though my ancestors were here way before Caucasians were here, but we're in this country called America right now, which doesn't treat us like, they treat us like second-class citizens, even third-class citizens. They're allowed to kill us. There's no consequence for it. The things like, okay, I'm gonna name an example. They went after Bill Cosby. Okay, I'm not saying Bill Cosby's right or wrong or anything like that. They went after him for years or something like that. That lady that lied on Emmett Till, she admitted that she lied, but they didn't go after her. And what about all these other people, Harvey Weinstein and all these other people, Bill O'Reilly? They still got their shows. They still got this. There's no checking them. So until you treat us the same across the board, I don't feel like I'm African descent. I'm not African American, because until you treat me like an American, I don't feel like I'm American. That's just the way I think. And I'm a melanated human, meaning that of course, this is a strong stuff. This is what the Creator gave me to protect myself against the sun. This is the dominant gene. So I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I'm not, like I said, I'm not trying to be prejudiced or anything like that. I'm just speaking on truth. So anyway, but
Yeah, African American.
Africa.
Yeah.
I'm just African descent, and same thing. Even though people that occupy this land, a lot of them were from African descent. We've been here, So I mean, you say, oh, they were here. Yeah, they were here, but okay, you can say, well, the world is whatever I'm saying, because everybody in this world at one point was dark skinned or melanated. So I mean, go back. So it's a being Caucasian is a genetic mutation. That's a fact.
What was I gonna say? Have you guys ever, how do you explain that to your kids, or how do you, yeah, because I'm sure my kids aren't the only ones that have figured it out. They're not black. My shirt is black, but how do you explain that? The terms and labels, and do you feel, do you use those terms, or do you feel offended by those terms?
I mean, I'm gonna tell you something. We got words that I don't like to use. I don't like to use, even around black people, and especially around black people, is the N word in any form, because I feel like I don't want nobody to feel like they can accidentally say it around me. So I don't like to use it even around black people. Now I don't get upset, but if I pull, sometimes I say, hey man, we, like my real close friends, we don't talk like that. We don't talk like that at all. They say, oh, well, you proper. I'm not proper. Why'd I be proper? Because I don't have to use slang terms or whatever like that. I know how to talk. So I'm not gonna use slang terms. I want you to understand me. So yeah, I'm from California. I'm from West Side, whatever you want to call it or whatever. Yeah. I can talk like that, but that doesn't, it doesn't get my point across. And yeah, I'm educated. But at the same time, uh, uh, I don't feel like I need to talk to the point where I need to talk with slang and stuff like that. It's not going to get me a job in this real
These
world.
kids today.
So,
oh, go ahead.
yeah, and at the same time, it's like the same thing like a kid or these kids today, like she said. I feel like putting a tattoo on your face. Why would you put a tattoo on your face when you got to go to a job interview or something? Now, another thing, what she was saying about jobs and stuff like that, what we do need to start teaching our kids, we need to start teaching our kids about operating their own businesses, and that's the goal and stuff like that, because we need to start operating our own businesses. We need to start doing business with each other, and we need to start supporting our own businesses. Yeah, it might be a little bit more at first because we're not going to be giving opportunities to other races, as well as name, but
you have to make those opportunities too. Okay, go ahead.
I'm just saying, so we need to start teaching our kids not only to get jobs and stuff like that, but if you don't want to work a regular job, if you want to work a job, that's fine. But if you don't want to work a regular job, teach them how to make the necessary steps of obtaining their own businesses. We had very successful businesses here. I don't know if you ever heard of Black Wall Street, and that's just one instant, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, they bombed it because of jealousy, and we was doing really well within our own communities, and we can do again. We can do very well in our own communities. We got people that come and operate in our communities, and they don't even like us, and they disrespect us, and they Asians and Arabs and stuff like that. And we're gonna talk about Libya over there that got destabilized over there, selling black people over there in slavery and stuff like that. That's Arab people, and like I said, I'm not saying all Arab people are like that, but if you think it's wrong, then you need to check it. Period. So if you turn your back to it, then you think it's okay, whether you think it's okay or not. If you're not speaking up against it, then you're part of the problem.
Yeah. Are you saying, I can't? The best way to teach the kids to come into business is to do it yourself. I think everybody has some sort of talent, some sort of skill, and you really have to tap into that. You just might not realize what it is, but everybody has some sort of talent that you can finesse into a business. If you really think about it, if you really want it, I say, I see these people putting up vision boards and all kinds of stuff like that. You know, I always have said, you know, you can speak things into existence. That really is true. If you really want something bad enough, it will come to pass because you're going to do what it takes. If you want to teach these kids to be entrepreneurs, become an entrepreneur yourself. Don't just go get a book and, well, this is how. No. Read it, learn it yourself, and then apply it.
Make it a side business.
Yep.
And then as far as speaking things into existence, that's very true because we're very spiritual people and we worship things that are not what's the name. We give our power away. Speaking things into existence is very true. When you want something bad enough, you work for it and it manifests itself.
See, that's why I talk to you about. I see you guys wanting that RV. You already claimed it. Y'all are going to get that RV. I really, I feel it. Y'all are going to get it, and it's going to be more than you even expect. So I'm excited. I've been excited ever since I saw that's what you all were doing. I'm excited for you. And, you know, it's not even physically in your hands yet. But I just, you know, I can't wait. It's going to happen because that's what you want. So, yeah, you have to teach the kids, not just, you know, everything is not about, let me get this book and cross off this and check this lesson plan and all of that. This is real life, you know, and obviously this is not even homeschooling, but cultural, you know, in general, that's something that should be, you know, everybody should have some sort of, well, you should be very aware of your culture in the home. And somebody has to be, you know, be knowledgeable enough to lead everybody else. Everybody shouldn't just be blind in the house and oblivious and ignoring things. Somebody has to wake up and say, hey, you know, what about this? What about that? Let's learn this. Let's learn that. Stop opening up the books and taking what's in those books. And I talked to you guys the last time about what I'm working on, what my project is and stuff like that. And how I'm getting, you know, a lot of, and not to say that, you know, everybody's going to accept what I'm doing or they're going to accept the work or whatever. I can't please everybody and I'm not here to do that. Some people, like I say, if you're here to sit at my table, everybody's not here. I don't want everybody at my table. I really don't. But if you're here, you know, you understand. Some people are, you know, generally, you know, they care. They want to understand more and things like that. Some people, it just doesn't matter one way or the other. They're going to go by whatever is put in front of them and won't even question it because they're too lazy to actually research it. I watch people say, oh, I read this book or I read that book. I found a mistake. You know what? I found about 50 mistakes. And the thing is, you know, sometimes you might go cross-reference, check one book. Y'all, and I told you guys about going to Google. Sometimes you have to go 50 pages back. And the thing is, you're not going to find 50 pages of information a lot of times because they erase Google. The smarter we get, they erase it. That's why you can't find certain stuff using Google. They're going to put out the popular searches, the information they want us to know, and keep the rest hidden. Okay? So you have to go and seek out that stuff. But people will go and buy, oh, this is good. This is good. This is good. And because it's popular and because it's cheap. I have said this time and time again. If you're going to buy things, really research what you're buying. Books. It's so many great books out there written by us professors and scholars that have done this stuff years and years and years of research. And yes, that stuff costs money because they still don't want us to know. And I have to give it to them. It is not easy to sit down and research anything, even for 5 minutes. I'm telling you, the stuff I'm putting together, just the notes, the taking of the notes and me just having to think stuff through, it's hard. I'm not going to say, oh, it's easy. I'm writing this up. It's doing this, you know. It's coming together, but it's still hard, you know, because you got to get detail and it's got to make sense and all that kind of stuff. And even myself, I might not be completely, there might be some flaws in it. I know I'm going to have to go back and redevelop. Somebody might say, hey, I use this and I tried this and maybe this didn't work, or this, I expect that. I'm not expecting I'm about to come out with some great grand African American curriculum and it's the best, and that's not what I'm doing.
But you can have different editions.
Exactly.
The first edition is not always going to be, it's going to have, each edition, revised editions and stuff like that. Exactly. But let me give you guys a author to look for, which you may not, I don't know if a lot of people heard of, Dr. Ben Yakiman. He's got a lot of different information books, a book on black civilizations, and that's just named a few. But
yes, we went and looked at some today.
So just check out Dr. Ben Yakiman. That's just one jewels that I would drop for you guys today. And anyway, back to what she was saying about the different curriculum, but like say revised. She can make a revised edition. Of course,
exactly.
When you make a book, it's not an end all be all. It's just it's a guide. So
it's up to you all to come back and say to me, hey, can you do this? Can you do this? I have seen things like this thick, and then you go to the bibliographies and all of that, and they got this, and it's like, where did you get the information? Where did you get that information? For this, you to have all this big book, you have nothing cited. Did you just read a whole bunch of stuff and put that down? And that's, I'm not trying to make anything biased. My stuff is just pretty straightforward. You just have to be able to read, and it's just going to make you think. It's one of those critical thinking type things. It's not, there's going to be facts in it, but some of the stuff y'all would just go pick it up because somebody said this and I'm like, are you serious? It doesn't even make sense. Did you really think about it? Oh yeah, it helped my child do this, or I really understood this because I didn't understand this at first. And I'm like, but did you really? You tricked yourself into thinking that you really learned something.
And then another thing too, some of the stuff out there that you buy is culturally insensitive. It's also sometimes it's just straight up downright racist. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna say any names. It's a book out there by certain people in a certain state, and the information is definitely racist. So when you buy things, you have to read it through, because you have to look, especially if it's somebody from the Caucasian race, you have to look at the agenda. You have to also look at the information that's given, and you have to really read it, because you might not pay attention to it. Your kids might look at it, and that's one thing we have to come to it as a people. We got to start calling out stuff that's racist. Mm-hmm. Don't teach our kids that stuff. So if you see it in there, you leave it alone. You start calling it out. We need to stop walking with our tail between our legs and stuff like that.
Yeah, don't keep supporting stuff when you
call
know
each other out.
It's blatant.
So if we can call each other out, we need to start holding other people accountable. Mm-hmm. So we need to start loving each other and holding other people accountable. So if you coming with some racist stuff, it needs to be called out. So that's all I'm saying. I was just like, look, if it's racist, I was at work the other day, and this is kind of funny. One of the white guys said, "Oh, my ancestors, they owned slaves, but they wasn't racist." And I looked, and I was at work, and I almost like turned around and like, "What the fuck you talking about, man?" But I had to remember I was at work. Hold on, I was about to get that black on him, but like I said, I just chilled out. I was about to get that uneducated, from the streets. Yeah, but at the same time, I remember I'm at work, so I was like, okay, yeah, I'll catch you outside of work. We're gonna have it out. But anyway, just left it alone, because you can't. Sometimes when somebody's got that mind, it's a waste of time, really. So that to me, sometimes, unless you're in my face with it, it's a waste of time. And I don't really care about converting you over, because it is what it is.
So you have to be mindful of what what you are learning, what you are watching, what you are sharing with your family, and the again, I'm not saying head of household, but the adults in the household need to help each other. It should not be because you're the man.
Or the women, for that matter, because you got some women are dominant.
Yeah, some women are dominant, but I know. Oh, my husband, he does the Bible study. I'm gonna leave that alone, but that type of thing. Yeah. You know, something like that, you know, to me, that's a little, it's a little far out there, you know, it's a little far out there, because you might find something that challenges, you know, because for a long time I had to let him know that, yeah, I might go to church, we might go to church, be at the church when the, you know, till the church closed, but, you know, that's not why I'm there. So somebody might be woke and somebody might not, and it might not always be the male. Okay,
No, because she did start off woke before I was. And she when she asked that question about
he
why
was
you
about to get it.
uh uh
About to go ahead.
when I asked that question why you don't do it, and it's like, but I've always had a mind where uh I always looked into deeper things. So I asked her, and she told me the answer, and I was like, whoa, okay. So I was like, what do you mean? But you know, as I started, I actually there's a rap song that kind of got me into started my past. Well, beside my dad, but the song was called God the Vampire. And God, the Devil, and the Vampire. The artist's name was Razkaz, and it talked about amen, and that was like, I looked it up because he said amen meant Amen Ra, and Amen Ra is the Kemet sun god. But there's nothing wrong with giving amen. Is just the sun god, giving props to the sun, and without the sun we wouldn't have life. But at the same time, it's literal, not to be like, you know.
You're not praying and saying amen. Okay,
Yeah. So
some of y'all don't even know that. You
so
teach your kids to pray the prayers. You say your grace, amen. You don't supposed to say that.
and see, my dad taught me something a long time ago. He said religion was used to control the masses. If you look up the word religio, which means I forgot what it means, control. So it comes from a Italian. Well, I don't know. I looked it up. I forgot.
Yeah.
Italian word. Religio means to control. So when he told me that as a little kid, I was like, what do you mean by that? So I didn't really pay attention to it, but those are little things that my dad would give me, little gems like that. Things like, okay, when you get old enough, I'm planting seeds. So when you get old enough, these seeds are gonna start to grow, and that's basically what happened. So but like I said, I'm not here to debate what you believe in or whatever
What
like
you
that.
don't believe in.
Don't believe in. What we're trying to say is we need to start being responsible to our culture and stop teaching your kids that we're just slaves, and stop accepting that crap either, because we just wasn't slaves. We ran this stuff before anybody else. So I mean you can go back and do the research, and the further you go back, the more
research outside the Bible, y'all. And yeah, I can't persuade y'all, but get out the Bible. The Bible just is full of slavery. Something right there should tell y'all that something is wrong. Okay?
Do some research on King James.
Get out of the Bible.
Who he was. Really find out who King James was. King James edition. He molested little kids. The terms, hence, motherfucker. The kings from them, because my dad told me about that, what it meant for them. The first time a boy would have sex was with his mother. That's nasty, but that's what motherfucker came from. Okay. So you know, I'm saying the word. I'm not saying it like, I'm saying it in the sense of go look up the word and where it really came from. But my dad just hit me with them gems when I was younger, and like, it's just, that's nasty. You know, I'm just saying. Your mom's, that's just nasty. That's, yuck.
All right, now get off of that.
Saying, but anyway, I'm saying, but that's just the term. So you have to go look up some of the things that sometimes these so-called people that control things or whatever, it was their control. The original King James Version Bible, you had to have it. It was the law. After he came up with his version of it, you had to have
the Bible. So, the Bible
and
is
and the same
King
James even had a book on demonology too. So you know, he was king. So of course, I mean, just, I don't know. I mean, but like I said, I'm not here to bash anything until you guys do your research or whatever.
Persuade anybody.
Yeah,
but it's just like politics. It's used as a control. Okay, it's used as a control, and if you dig deep, I say one day I'm just gonna, you know, somebody said something about Genesis, and I'm gonna show you what you're reading, I'm going to show it to you. And you're going to see. You'll see what I'm talking about. You might not accept it, but you will see it. And from that point on, it just kind of debunks everything else, because this is the beginning. I mean, just the beginning, period. Okay, just those first three words, in the beginning.
I'm going to talk about one thing. If man lost a rib because of what's name, then why do we all have the same sets of ribs? That doesn't make any sense at all. Completely. It's you guys got to look at that story. That's just a straight up.
It was taken.
You know, and then on top of that, you got the creator of the universe. He got to pull a bone from somebody to make somebody. Come on now. He making planets and star systems and all this other stuff. He got to pull a bone from somebody. Get out of here with that. Come on. That don't make no kind of sense. You talking about somebody in his, when he speaks, things start, he or whatever, when the creation force speaks, or when it vibrates, basically, it starts to create. So, and we're part of that energy. That's why you got to be careful of the bad thoughts that you think, and but you can't speak things into existence, because you have to remember that you are part of that energy.
And vice versa. You can, bad things. If you think about bad stuff, or you dwell on bad stuff will happen.
Yep.
That's why somebody said, "Oh, you're this, you're that, you're that." I'm not bragging. I'm not prideful. I can't. You know what? That right there, it didn't. I brushed it off. I was raised a certain way, very headstrong. I'm proud. I'm proud of what I do. I'm proud of what I accomplish. I'm proud for my family. That's a different thing than being prideful. I'm not, because I can come and speak to somebody and say this, that, and other. If you was watching some drama or something, because I have, gotten that, and I'm like, really? You come to me with drama about somebody else that don't even concern you? I don't listen to stuff like that. I'm just not that type of person. I don't have time for that.
It's negative. Anything that's
negative. Yeah, it's straight up negative. But because I'm telling you something positive or something that is not your reality, you want to get mad and say, I'm bragging.
And then on top of that, you got to be careful about letting people put negative energy on you, because it will bring you down. And it's happened. I listen to my friends a lot, and not listen to them as far as anything bad, but listen to their problems. And sometimes their problems affect me. I had to get out of that, because I would get mad at her because of something that was done to some of my friends by somebody else. It had nothing to do with her, but it's just that energy sometimes. So I can't, tell them, man, why the hell you taking that? But at the same time, I'm trying to be objective and listen to my friends and be an ear. And I was like, sometimes you have to say, hey, man, hold up. Hey, man.
You don't need, you just don't want to know their situation.
You choose to stay in that situation. Hey, I got to let you have that situation, because the only thing it's doing is put negative energy on me. So if you want to change your situation, then holler at me. But if you're going to be in that situation, complain about that situation, and still be in that situation, then be in that situation. Don't put your negative on me, because the only thing it's going to do is affect me. So I have to try. I try my best to keep myself away from negative situations, because where I'm at right now, I'm trying to retire by the time I'm 60. With that being said, I have to focus on positive things and put positive things in perspective. I have to focus myself on positive things and keep, and speak positive things in existence, also work towards those things. So when I get 60, I will be able to relax and enjoy the rest of my life and travel and whatever I kind of want to do. So I don't have to be a millionaire, but if I set myself up right, I'll be okay.
Man, let's go back to what I said. He wasn't here when I talked to you guys about friends, having friends and what you're supposed to tell your girlfriend, sister friends, whatever. You just don't, because that energy, I don't care how well you think you know somebody. A lot of times they throw their energy, and you just like you tell people, you shouldn't tell everybody everything, just all your business. Yeah, you have to be very mindful, because the same thing that you're praying for, somebody is going to pray against you. That's why a lot of times y'all see stuff. I might be showing y'all stuff or talking about stuff. Guess what? It already happened. It already happened. You're seeing something that happened months ago because it already happened. Or I might get a comment on something, like I might show something, get a comment on it, or somebody saying something. Let me call so and so and say this, and I'm like, too late. It already happened. And the reason why I didn't say nothing is because I just didn't want you in the business. It's some stuff you just keep to yourself. Really keep to yourself, because um, people have it in. They really have it in for you. They don't want to see anybody do good.
Well, part of that is too because of the way that we've been taught. We've been taught it's a systematic thing. So we've been taught actually to be against our own brother. So I mean, and that's just the way it is, because we get rewarded for being against each other. We get it's just the way it is. But now we have to break that chains. We have to break them chains. We have to stop being against each other. And don't get, okay, if you see somebody kill somebody and you tell somebody, that's not snitching. I'm like, look, don't do no stuff. I'm telling my friends, I don't hang around type people, first of all. Second of all, but at the same time, but see, people, I'm going to keep quiet about that. But as soon as you see somebody trying to do something good, you don't whisper words of encouragement. You're like, oh, that nigga think, excuse my language. I said the other day, there we go, that word. I'm trying my best. I do a good job. Anyway, but that's what people say. Oh, so instead of saying encouragement things about he's starting a business or something like that, the first thought is to hate. So we have to get away from that. We have to get away from that hate instead of saying, look, that's a good idea, man. So let me help you, and then you can help me one day. Or you don't have to be like financially. It could be like, okay, you whatever type of help that you.
Okay, ask her to help you look for it, okay? Don't get sad in this time a little bit. Yeah, nobody wants to help anybody. Everybody wants to, they don't want to see anybody do better. And the thing is, it's not doing better. It's
But when it comes to street rules, we sit there. Oh man, I'm not. Look, we need to get away from that stuff. That's anything that. Forget about that stuff. And I know most of the people that you're speaking on YouTube is not like that. But at the same time, we got people in our family like that. Everybody does. So, and that's why I'm saying it. But so. We have to get away from that. We have to get away from the street rules or whatever, or being hood smart. I know somebody right now, they hood smart, but when it comes to getting a regular job, they're not capable of doing it because they never trained themselves to do that. So what good if then? So they're going to be 50, 60 years old, not being able to survive because they can't even get a regular job, and they can't even open their own business. So, I mean, take those situations. I always said it back in the force. People that are good with money and stuff like that, and drug dealers, they can definitely be doing something else. But they don't, what's the name? There's a lot of things that you can do business-wise, but we don't think about that. So, I mean.
That's what I was talking about, Empire. The thing behind, the message behind Empire. That's the reason why I like it. And he said in the first episode, the kids out here with AK-47s, a lot of these kids are talented. They can be musicians. They need to fight with their music instead of them guns. So that's what I'm saying. A lot,
but not only musicians, because
I'm just saying
percentage of people being musicians and actors and being anything like that is very small.
But, it's small, but they have talent, and the more they do it instead of being out there in them streets. So that's what I'm saying. That is the reason why that show has held, because they know music gets people.
Well, I understand
it gets these kids. It makes them listen. So yeah, they know they're glorifying, bad stuff, but at the same time, the message behind it, the message behind it, still positive.
You got truck drivers, which I drive truck, but I used to be an engineer. So you can do whatever you put your mind to. It's just that the thing about it, and we're smart enough and capable of doing that. The thing about it is that if we're always got this negative thing, like I'm gonna tell you one time when I graduated from college and I my first job, and I opened up, I said, yeah, I got me a job starting back, blah blah blah, company car, blah blah blah, and I was working I was still going to college, but I got the offer, and I was working at a janitorial service, and other black people, and first thing that lady said was, "Oh, uh, you can't get no job like that." And you know what? I didn't say nothing to her because I knew her ignorance, but at the same time, it was just like, you know what? I just ignored her. I ignored her, and but she was older. She was set in her ways, so I couldn't tell her anything because sometimes even though I don't necessarily believe in the story of Moses, but after a certain age, sometimes people get set in their ways. It's kind of hard to teach them anything new because they're not willing or capable of listening to it. But see, me, I'm older, but one thing I feel in life, there's always something new to learn tomorrow. I do not know everything, and especially in this capacity, I will not know everything. So just call it humbling yourself or whatever. But at the same time, I always want to learn something new because there's something always to learn. You have to adjust, and like me and her, we get along great because we think we always have to learn something new. We have to try. We can't be prideful, especially with each other. That's the thing about it too. In relationships, people are prideful. I'm not gonna do that because of that. I'm not gonna do that. And that's, you know what, bottom line, in a relationship, you're in a relationship because you're there to serve each other. You guys don't think like that, it's not gonna work. You're there to serve each other, and forget about the pride. It's not about the pride. You want a family, you're serving your family, but you're also serving each other. So that's what and for it to work effectively, you have to feel that way. You have to feel like, well, look, I'm here to serve him, he's here to serve me, and that's what it is. You make each other happy, and that's,
it trickles down to the family.
So you're here to serve each other. I don't have a problem serving my family. I don't have a problem doing it for my family. But at the same time, I want the energy back because I'm a family man. I already know I'm a family man. I want the energy back, and I need the energy back to keep going.
Yeah, I like that comment. We should want to see each other doing good, and that's what I was talking about in the last little chat when I was in the kitchen, talking about some stuff. If you guys didn't watch it, or if you had to stop watching it, yeah, that was impromptu. But go ahead and go back and watch it. But yeah, you should want to see people doing good because, that is some sort of motivation for you. There's no magic. There's no, we're not born with silver spoons and things like that, in our mouths. We have to work, and if it was somebody else, like I say, I'm happy for you all on this. You was out going, looking at the RVs today and stuff like that. I'm happy. When somebody tell me stuff like that, I'm just, I don't care who it is, I'm just happy, excited. Somebody has some kind of goal. Somebody, that's a big investment. And that means that you're going to see where your money is going. You're not going to go and buy, this, that, and the other, and then you don't know where the money went. This is something you really, really have to work for. And because you're really going to work for it, you're really going to take care of it. So I'm really excited. Even though it's not me, I'm excited. And I just like to hear stuff like that. And, when I come and share things like that, or we're going to do this or that, it's not that I'm being, I'm boasting or I'm gloating about this, that, and the other. I'm just telling you, hey, this is what we're doing. I could tell you guys some stories. And in fact, I was thinking about this, and I just kind of hesitated because I don't know. Some of y'all probably, are not ready. Some of you, nobody would even guess. But there's some stuff that I have gone through. She lost it. Okay, tell Layla to look. Where's Layla?
But it's time to go to bed. It'll be time tomorrow.
If you can't find it, don't worry about it. We'll find it tomorrow. Myself, I have gone through some stuff, and I had to sit back and think. He went through some stuff, and I say, well, I don't know. Maybe because I had the kids, it was worse. But then again, I had to realize a lot of stuff, and I still, I never, really addressed it. But I feel it. I just really haven't said anything to him about something. But I went through some heavy stuff. And I've been on here for 8 years. And I probably am just going to go ahead and say eventually. But in that 8 years, there has been some heavy situations, and none of you guys knew any of it. And some people, can come on and do the same thing. It's just a lot of stuff we go through. And yeah, I know. Matter of fact, I know a couple personally, and you just don't say stuff, and it's because people just don't understand. So I'm trying to, when I share, things that we're doing, places we're going, I'm trying to give you something that you can relate to. Because not everybody's going to understand those hard topics. Unless you just been through them. Nobody's really going to understand. I think probably the hardest thing that I did share was the child in a coma. Y'all will never understand that. Physically, he wasn't even here. We had to tell him about it.
And then I had to come and I had to get back here. And then driving under that stress and that conditions right there with your child in a coma, it just, you don't want to make sure you're thinking, because you don't want to crash and yourself, and I was over the road. So like I said, it's definitely was a stressful situation. It probably been smarter if I just would have took a plane, but like I said, didn't have the capabilities of doing so at the time. So I got back here as fast as I can. So
those are like, those type of situations are not things that, I'm not saying that's reality. That's just straight up reality. That's the reason why I shared it. But those are situations that I really, not saying that I want to just hide them. Obviously, if I wanted to hide it, I would have never told you guys what was going on, or I would have never told you the situation behind it or any of it. I was totally transparent with the whole situation. But those, again, are not things that we want to share every day. That's not something I want to hear about. And sharing good stuff, seeing people do good, seeing people saying, oh, I'm getting ready to open up this business, or I have this plan, or I have this idea. That's what I want to see. Or, my child has learned this and wants to do this. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to hear.
Look, I want to touch on that, what she said. We have enough woeful stories in our community. And that's why if you look on the internet, you'll find people at each other and stuff like that. So we don't want to put that image across. So yeah, we got woeful stories. We got stuff that happened to us. We've been through some stuff ourselves. But where we at right now, we're looking at where we at now. Okay, well, yeah, everybody's been through some stuff, but you have to go through it to be, to get to it. So that's the way we look at it. It's still a positive learning factor, because you look at it, is where you're at now. So you can't reflect on the negative. You look at where you're at now. So where you're at now, I'm cool. So I can't focus on the past, because yeah, I remember the past, but I can't focus on the past. I remember the past. It is what it is. I put it away. It's where we at now. So that's, yeah, we can say, oh, if you sit back and look, you did this many years ago, and you did that. Okay, where are we at now? And that's where you got to look at as a couple. You got to look at where you're at now, for you can get to the healing process, and you can get to where you want to be. Otherwise, and we, like I said, we've been through some stuff, but like I said, it's where we're at now.
Exactly. And so, again, everybody is not meant to sit here. You don't really know where I'm coming from. It's really hard to explain, and some of you may never know unless you actually been in the situation. But we're just trying to, just encourage everybody to tap into their strong points for their family's sake. Build your family up. It's enough, tearing us down.
And stop telling your kids they can't do things or anything negative. They can do anything they put their minds to, and you have to install that into them. I have a daughter that graduated from Duke. I have a daughter at LMU. So you can tell them they can do anything they put their minds in, or whatever they work towards. And I've always taught my kids that I can't is a bad word in my house. I can't. I don't want to hear it. And to be honest with you, you might get, whatever, smacked in the mouth for that. Don't say that to me. So, but, you You can do whatever you put your mind to. Whatever you work towards, whatever you want, it's yours. You just got to go get it. Now, it ain't going to magically pop out the air, but if you work towards it and put your mind towards it, it's going to be yours. I've had 2 houses already. I'm not talking about saying, but like I said, we're going to get it, we'll see this other house that we want. We're going to get it. I mean, it's already there. I just got to work towards it, and it's going to be mine. So it's what you want in life. I want a muscle car. I'm gonna get me a muscle car. I just waiting for I get the house first. Gotta put it in the garage because nobody gonna drive.
I'm sorry, I had to work on that one, but
I don't know. But I'm gonna get me a 60 something GTO. Yep.
I mean, I support her, but y'all just have to know.
She need to be writing those shows for thinking, I'll go get a little junker and they can come out there and say,
I'm laughing now, but y'all, I might be eating that laugh, so let me just stop.
Yeah. Hey, whatever I said I put my mind to, I did it, so hey.
Yeah, he'll come home with something in a minute. Yeah, I don't look at stuff, I see things that are really, really outrageous out here, and it's just ridiculous. And, I see people that are really honestly, like us, trying to be a positive force, among people and just bring people together. And, it's each one, help each other out. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff. Somebody said something in the way of, the mundane. I don't want to see the mundane over here and this, that, and the other. Some days it's those mundane things that we need to stop and look at. I'm not just trying to come on here when we're, oh, look what we bought. Look what we did. Look where we went. No, some of the time I just was filming some boring stuff. But you know what? I'm going to show you because it might be helpful. A lot of times that stuff I think is boring. Somebody come back and a lot of times it's years later. I'm still getting feedback on it.
We got a date night coming up in a little while, and I'm gonna do karaoke, and she's gonna film it, and she's gonna show y'all. So it's not gonna be mundane or whatever, but we got one coming up pretty soon. So,
but yeah, so karaoke, okay. Yep. There's a lot of talent among us. And like I said, I can't talk about the projects. But when I say, doing stuff and, when I was talking about the school thing and I had to I have to really think about that. Is that something we want to do? Because that's not something we want to do. I'm speaking for myself. He said it's too much. But I would need his help to do that. I would need everybody's help to open up a school. But and then to hear the boy say, Mom, y'all should open up a school, and he was nowhere around. Those kind of things are not impossible because, like I said, I have a lot of resources. I have a lot of people that I can tap into. And so if somebody was sitting there saying, yeah, right, I like to see that happen. Those are words that I just eat up. I love when people tell me that. I love that negative, because guess what? I turn it around. And it makes me go harder. Not the negative energy, but if you want to be negative like that, it's going to make me achieve it. So don't say that to me. I've always done that. I don't know. It's just something to me that, somebody say you can't do this. What? And
we're very similar on that aspect.
I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to show you. It's going to be hard. I don't care. I might fall flat on my face, but guess what? I'm going to get back up and I'm going to keep trying. Like I said, with projects I'm working on, and I'm trying to figure this out, and you guys, I'm looking at stuff that, one thing I have I'm going to tell something, but I have what did they tell me? For one, I know I'm a high achiever, overachiever, but I have a fear of, I don't want to say success, but I have a fear of success. I have so many successes, and it's not that, I don't know, I have a hard time, I don't want to be in the spotlight. And somebody said something last time when I was talking about something, and they said you should share. I'm not that open. Even though I'm open, I'm not that open. I'm like, I feel that if I do something really, really great and the spotlight is on me, I'm going to clam up. And so I hold back a lot. But I look at the stuff that I have done and the accomplishments and the awards and things that I have received, and it's like, it's okay. You know, I have to remind myself it's okay. I'm looking at the stuff I have written, you know, just in the lower part of the curriculum, and I'm like, I wrote that. I'm thinking it's something somebody else wrote. I don't even know my own power, and so that's what I'm saying. Some of you guys can do some good things, and you have no idea. You have to tap into it.
But I monetized it a long time ago. I told you that.
Well, I just
anyway.
I don't know. I think it's something that's not that, you know. We've been on for an hour. I know. So, hold on. I think I'm like everybody else. Is what I'm saying. And I'm not saying that I'm not like everybody else, but
everybody else has got their special attributes.
Yeah.
So you have to recognize that. You can't keep. Everybody's got their own special superpower. Yeah. So you have to recognize that and use it. And whatever we were given specially, we're all individuals. We're not the same. So you have to remember that. So you have to embrace it.
Well, yeah, that's my thing. As I've learned a long time ago, because everybody told me, and I've never been able to embrace it because I'm that little brown girl.
That fear that was
that little brown girl.
Yeah,
what little brown girl can do that? Remember, I told you guys when I wrote
society, black people, you're not supposed to do this.
Little brown people,
they can't do that.
They can't write a book when they're kids, and you know. And somebody said, "Here, I'm getting ready to publish this," and I was like, "What? That's all you have to do?" I had no idea, and they was like, "Yeah, give it to me," and I'm like, wow. You know, I just, that's what it is. I have, you know, I have to embrace it. It's not that, you know, it's success. I have a problem. I don't know. I'm just.
It's that deep-seated fear that we've been programmed. Mm-hmm. It's systemic.
And I'm trying to get out of it. And you know, at the same time, teach the kids.
I'm the same way because the second time, like I said, I'm trying to form this business again, and I'm hesitant because I want to make sure I have this and I want to make sure I have that but at the same time, when you fail at something, that's how you be successful because you get back up and do it again. Mm-hmm. That's the thing about it. It's not about failing. Being successful is not about how many times you fail. It's about how many times you got back up. Yeah. So you have to remember, most successful people in business, a lot of people that started in business, they failed a lot of times. Mm-hmm. So you have to remember that. A lot of these millionaires and stuff like that, they failed a lot. So you have to remember that. You have to get back up. Just pick yourself back up. Keep picking yourself back up. As long as you got the energy and stuff like that, keep picking yourself back up. But anyway, I'm getting ready to go. So she keep talking, but I'm getting ready to go.
Now all of a sudden you getting ready to go. Where you going?
Went downstairs for a second. Yeah.
You get ready to go. I can keep talking. Well, don't be bothering me.
Okay.
No, don't be trying to touch me. What you? Keep your hands to yourself.
She getting ready to go too.
Yeah, I'm going to sleep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you go to sleep.
Go on now. Go on. Way across yonder over there.
Yeah, she going to sleep. Yeah, right. She might. Yeah, she going to sleep.
Yep.
Yeah, she going to sleep.
I am.
Yeah, she going to sleep.
I'm going to sleep. I'm tired.
Good night.
Take a shower. Go to sleep.
Good night. Okay.
Oh, so tired.
Anyway,
I'm tired.
We don't want to ramble, and we want you to lose the importance of what we're talking about. So, I mean, we can have another session about this, but right now it's we do wrap it up because, like I said, we're getting to the point where we're rambling, and we still want to make sure our thoughts are focused and stuff like that, and what we're really trying to get across there. Like I said, just our culture, and we don't have one.
Instill it in the family,
and
you know.
We just do it.
Embrace it
and learn something new every day. If you have to go out there and get these books or something like that, spend the money because you know, it might cost you. Put it away. Don't loan it out. Because some of our people, hey, let me borrow that. And man, where my book at? I done did that before. I done lost books.
Ben Yakiman, and I'll be sharing some stuff, and I'll be sharing some stuff on Instagram.
Dr. Kawazi.
Yeah,
Look
I'll
him
be
up on
sharing.
YouTube. He talks about Kemet a lot, explains a lot, break down a lot of stuff. Dr. Kwazi. So.
Mhm. If you guys have any suggestions or any uh thing you are reading or have read, anybody,
Yeah,
leave it
share
down
it.
in the comments. Share it
Share it.
so that other people can find out, and because everybody need to be hip up on something.
You got to each one teach one.
There's no right or wrong, and don't worry about if somebody coming back saying, well, they had some wrong information. That's for you to discern. Everybody's gonna have different information or narratives or whatever. Like I said, I can show you this Genesis thing, and y'all, he went back to the rib. I told you about in the beginning, the first 3 words. After the rib is something else. I'm not worried about that. Either you're gonna take it or you're not. In the beginning was not the beginning.
It doesn't even make sense.
It doesn't make sense. But some of y'all are, and I have to respect that. Some of y'all believe in the beginning was the beginning. I respect that. But at the same time, some of y'all, if I say that, you're highly offended. How could you say that? You don't believe this? What? Like I'm the evil person. Well, because I found out something else. So what makes you so right?
Like I said, we're not here to debate that. We're here. What you feel is what you feel. If you don't wish to do the research and you wish to rely on one thing, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, at least study more history that's out there. At least study more of our history that's out there. Go deeper into Africa, deeper into some of the empires,
exactly.
The Malian Empire, Akuwilan, to even find out where the first university was.
Yeah,
Timbuktu.
And
so I mean, just some of the things that we have. So it's not just that's our history too. It's not just stuff in African American history. That's our history too.
Mm-hmm.
So we are African descent. So the Olmec heads.
That's what I'm trying to put into the thing. But I'm gonna tell you guys, as far as religion, there's no religion. There's not gonna be any hint of anything else other than what you already see. I'm not putting my bias into my work. I'm just not doing it because, first of all, it's too much. Y'all wouldn't understand it. It's not worth the money. It's not worth my time. It's just not going to be about that. It's just, it is what it is.
Do your research and you'll come to your own conclusion. Because once you start to study knowledge, it's everything else that manifests itself.
All right. And on that note, thank you guys, and hopefully we shall return next month. Okay.
Yeah, I'll find it tomorrow. It's time for them to go to bed.
Next month at hopefully we'll return next month sometime for another BFF. And
yeah, we'll talk about after date night.
We're going on date night. Where are we going? Mm-hmm. We're going to see Madea. Y'all going to see Madea?
I'm just talking about Madea. I'm talking about karaoke.
Oh, karaoke. Anyway, thanks for all the helpful information. Good night. Karaoke.
See y'all later.
You going to karaoke?
I told you to go.
Karaoke. I gotta go see my. She gonna be the end.
We go to Vegas during SEMA.
What is SEMA?
This is automotive stuff. Yeah.
That is not in May. We going in May. I need to look for those places so we can book this trip. And I'm gonna do the math on the Jamaica thing because.
Yeah, we gotta start saving.
No, I still think Villa 11 is cheaper than what you're trying to do.
I don't know.
For real, I think it is because it's only $211. The food is not. That's like $1,000, $1,200. I did the math for the week. We gotta eat, which is not that expensive. The thing is the flight. You want to spend $5,700 on an all-inclusive. That's how much it costs. Oh. And I could be getting my crew back in Villa 11 for $211. Oh, I'm for real. I don't think that's yeah. I don't think Like I said, I'm gonna really have to research that.